Hi and welcome to Filmi Talk. Today we have with us the dashing young actor Govind Padmasoorya. Let's begin with your upcoming movie Ettekaal Second.
Yeah.
And of course the first question that I have to ask you is about the underwater sequence, where an entire song has been shot underwater, and the longest sequence that has been shot underwater in the history of Malayalam cinema. So tell us about that experience.
I think it's in the history of the world itself, because Hollywood doesn't have much of songs which is as long as 5.5 minutes. So probably this is one of the longest underwater song in the world. It was fun, it was exciting, it was challenging, and it was an interesting mix. It was risky as well.
Was it breathless?
The whole experience was breathless, I would say. More than that, I would say what was the major challenge was to stay relaxed underwater, because over there, once you go, you have many more challenges than you have the buoyancy issue, where as soon as you go under, you come up.
Yeah.
And here we were asked to even do a candlelight dinner kind of sequence, where we have to literally come, settle in a chair, do a ring exchange, and do all those things. And
how did you manage to stay in the chair?
Still stay relaxed, which was not easy. I mean, we found out our own techniques by and by. Like for example, in that restaurant scene, what we did was we locked each other with our legs.
Okay.
Or like in water, the strangest thing is that when you have a small support, you can balance your body. Like for example, if you can hold on to something with even your one finger, your whole body can be balanced with that. So these were lessons we started learning, on the job probably. But it was fun. Like we had a lot of challenges other than that. Like for example, to set up a restaurant, to put all the fruits and all the paraphernalia out there was the biggest challenge, because nothing stays. Everything goes up, including us. So we had to literally find out ways to do that, tie it down, and another thing was, like unlike how it is in the land, we cannot hear our director speak. So all the instructions were given there. So live instruction wasn't there. And the biggest thing was I couldn't see my partner. And she was like, I could see only blurred images. I have to imagine what she's expressing, and then I have to express back. And in such a situation, I have to literally take her hand, find out which is her ring finger, and exchange her ring exchange, which is like even more challenging. It is fun, I would say.
How many times did you have to do that before you got that right?
Like we counted up to 17, and then we left it. We lost count because it wasn't easy. I was putting that finger in all the fingers except the ring finger, because everything looked same, and it looked like she had 6-7 fingers in her hand, and I was just wondering which one to put. But then as we were doing something very interesting, very different, that kept us going. It was tiring, but we didn't realize that it was tiring until the whole shoot was over. Probably after 3 days of shoot, then we realized that how hectic it was, because
it took 3 days for this entire
we
song.
had something like probably 9 to 6, 9 to 7 kind of a call sheet. We come up at 9. After 6, it was very difficult. First of all, lighting is difficult. When the sun goes down, the whole water, the clarity of the water also gets lost. So 3 days it went on, but we couldn't utilize the 3 days completely, because we had a lot of time going for changing the water, clearing the water. We were like literally using mineral water. Even though we were not completely focusing on the clarity of the thing, and where our attention was literally on the emotion of the actors.
Where was the shot?
This was shot in Vismaya. It was shot in Trandrum itself. We shot it in a pool. But we used special technicians. We used imported underwater kits and all those things. But as I said, as we were doing something very new, it was fun.
And do you swim? Were you scared of water, or you?
See, I knew swimming. For me, but then even underwater, with the kind of costumes I had, like I called my first costume the introduction costume. I would say I was looking like an underwater Superman or something with a shawl going on. It was difficult, when you have some shawls and all flying around. It is very difficult to swim underwater. And I don't know how on earth did Mia swim in that water, because she had her legs intact. She was using that mermaid costume, and the poor girl had learned swimming just for this underwater song. She had learned just a week before, and then I think she had a test of her time, and she did a marvelous job over there. Whether it's controlling the breath or whatever, I mean, she was very determined that she would outperform me somehow. So that was also there. It was difficult to swim, but Swimming was not the major criteria. The major criteria, to be very frank, was to stay underwater, relaxed, and emote what was asked for. Like we had obligations, we had emotional obligation every scene. In the initial one, we had the pain of searching the partner. Then we had this delight moment. Then we had this garden setup, and we had so many things. So we had to keep bringing in those emotions.
And with water in your eyes, it must have been very difficult.
I would say, when generally what we do is, especially in scenes where we have to show our sadness, one easy way we do it is
glycerin.
Forget glycerin. We make sure that the water is
okay.
We make it teary, but underwater we cannot make it teary. We have to bring it out through our muscles that we are sad. We are literally searching for the other person, and so those kinds of challenges also came up. And this song also had a very relevant point in the film. This was not just a song coming out of the blue. Our film is a love story where these two friends or intimate friends never get to share. I mean, never get to realize or communicate that they are in love to each other.
Okay,
so probably this song is one fantasy song where the audience also get to feel, or these people get to feel that they are in love. Okay. So that is a moment. So many things had to be communicated there also.
The theme of the movie is about love, and love that is not expressed, the beauty of love that is not expressed. So is that the central theme of the movie?
I would say, to a largest extent it is that, because it's again another boy meets girl story where it starts off with the initial conflicts. It goes off to they being friends, and then beyond. So 70% of them being great friends, quite intimate friends, who doesn't even realize that they're fallen in love. And when they realize, they are not in a situation to actually express the love. Their social situations, their family situations, and many other things which are around literally restrain them from expressing their love for each other. So they become, it becomes quite a dilemma. I would say that is the main conflict in the film. More than a complete 100% villain or an anti-hero, the conflict these two people go through is the main anti-hero in the film. So that gives us a space for expressing a beautiful friendship story to a great extent in the film.
Okay. Did you have to prepare a lot for the role, or was it something that, listening to you, this is something that almost everybody else would experience? So did you have to prepare a lot?
Not an extensive preparation or something like that. It was, the character had nothing to do with my real life persona. So I had to understand the character, which happened during my conversation with the director, with the writer, during the process of filmmaking. I got to know the character. Probably, I would say, in other words, I started making friends with the character. So I started relating to the character. When it comes to the kind of emotions, or when it comes to the kind of obligation I had to follow, obviously my real life incidents did help me a lot, because it was more about friendship. I have a beautiful bunch of friends, a very close, intimate friendship, which often gets confused whether it's love or friendship. So that kinds of friendship. So that did help me a lot, I would say, because I was very comfortable with Mia. I was very comfortable with Needu. That's her character name. So Santu, Needu chemistry. I think it has worked, because I was comfortable, she was comfortable, and most of the time, one compliment which I got during the post production was, there is one shot in the car where we couldn't use microphones, so our dialogues were not recorded, only our visuals were there. So the car scenario was as such, we had used a wide lens, we couldn't have probably the director and the whole crew inside the car. So at one point of time, the whole things were fixed. When we are comfortable, we should say action, we should finish off the scene, and we should say cut, and we should come back. In the post production, these people couldn't find out where did the action start and where did the cut, because we were talking. In between, we found it comfortable. We did the scene and we came back, and everything looks the same. So that was, in one way, a compliment.
You made your first appearance in the movie Ettekaal. So how did that opportunity come about, and what was that experience like?
Ettekaal actually came to me. I would say I didn't do anything. I didn't go behind cinema or as such, even though I liked cinema since childhood. when in college I happened to engage myself in short filmmaking and started acting in short films. Those were quite amateurish, amateur works.
Okay.
But then that was recognized during the film festivals of college in our college, and then that got me into a music album, which was directed by Lohidada's associates Manoj Vinod and sung by Vinit Srinivasan, and the visuals became quite popular.
Okay.
This I did when I was in college.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it is this music album that brought me to film. Like I got a couple of offers at the same time for films.
Okay.
Ettekaal was quite different and quite challenging and one of its kind. So I took it up.
You've acted, you've played key roles in quite a few significant movies. Would you call Ettekaal Second your comeback movie?
Yeah, in one way the thing is probably after Ettekaal I again got very prominent roles like IG, Daddy Cool,
Right.
and all these were quite branded films, superstars, and I had my space in all these films.
Right.
But then fortunately or unfortunately I took a break when I got a break in the industry. I took purposefully I took a break and I went to pursue my MBA in media entertainment.
Okay.
And Whistling was International Film City, Bombay, and my specialization was on films. So then, but it was regular course, so I couldn't manage both together. I had to be there all 2 years.
Okay.
Now what happened was two reasons. One, I thought I couldn't do it any other time. Like at one point of time, if I want to completely go off from the industry when I'm really prominent and then do a 2-year course is not easy. So that was the right time for a MBA.
Okay.
Then I had this confidence that when I come back I may still get good films and I may get to be in the industry. So that confidence was there somewhere. Yeah, in that way, when I see after 2 years break, when I came back, I think this is one of the best offers I got. Again, a lead role, a cute film, a love story, and very prominent character, which has got life in it.
Okay.
So I don't know, 2 years was quite a break, but then
you were again associated with movies, though you were not
some other
acting,
way. Like for me, I was full on. Like I had my basket was full. Like I had college days releasing when I was in MBA. I had my projects. I was doing projects on potential of Malayalam films abroad, on Indian diaspora, world diaspora. I was doing possibilities of online marketing of films. So I was busy with interacting with veterans. Like we had people like Karan Johar coming to the campus and taking us masterclass. We had people like top officials from PVR and CEO speaking about the business of films. So for me it was quite happening. But then film industries as such, 2 years of complete break is something it's difficult for you to get back to the industry. But luckily or fortunately, once I came back, I started getting films again, as if the industry was waiting for me. The only thing I feel right now is like, in parallel to my MBA, I feel I should have done an acting course also, so that I could have.
But you want to be in the acting sphere?
I like to be a film personality, total film personality. There's nothing like, but probably as I always find myself more oriented towards a performer, an entertainer kind of a thing. Obviously, acting comes first. That's the first priority. But then everything excites me. The storytelling excites me. The presentation part excites me. The making part excites me. So it's like I like the totality of films, and probably that inspired me to go and do a filmmaking. Like what I did in MBA was a study on a producer's perspective. MBA in films. But if I get to, what I realize is if I get to know about acting more technically in a more scientific manner, structured manner, probably I can improve myself, because I see myself growing a lot. I am sure I have gone a long way from Ettekaal and IG and Daddy Cool when it comes to Ettekaal Second. I had my bit of growing up. But I would have accelerated. I could have accelerated it if I had an acting course coming. Like I'm still learning. I'm still improving. And I'm sure I'm a better actor or a better performer, at least a better learner than what I was.
Okay, so you're planning to immerse yourself completely into acting?
Yeah, for sure. This now on it's like it's complete films.
Okay, so are there any future projects you've
yes,
signed
I have.
up for?
I have already shot a film called Lasagu Saga, which is coming up.
Okay.
Then I have another very interesting project coming up. So. And my Ettekaal Second is releasing, so many things are happening, and Malayalam industry itself is in a transition stage. So real talents has got a space out here. It's just a matter of marking your space.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure having you with us on Rose Bowl. Thank you and all the very best.
Thank you. Thanks.